Hey everyone, you're watching We Had That, and today I'm going to talk about the 1984 Wave 3 G.I. Joe Cobra CLAW. When G.I. Joe first relaunched in the 3 3/4 inch scale in 1982, I thought they were the most amazing toys that I had ever seen. When I saw the first wave of figures and toys on the shelves, I wanted every G.I. Joe piece that Hasbro made. Waves 2 and 3 seemed just as appealing, although I have to admit I didn't play much with the Shark, and the Deep Six figure sucked. The G.I. Joe Slugger and Cobra Asp didn't see much action at my house either, but in 1984, the Cobra CLAW was a definite must-have vehicle for me. It was one of the vehicles from Wave 3 that I played with a good bit. The CLAW, or Covert Light Aerial Weapon, was a Cobra air vehicle that could either be piloted by a person or controlled remotely like a drone. When piloted by a person, there wasn't much protection for the pilot, not that Cobra really cared much about the pilot. However, the advantage to this vehicle was it was small enough to make it difficult to pick up on radar. If it was controlled remotely like a drone, a flash firebomb could be mounted where the pilot would have been, and the CLAW could deliver its payload without endangering a pilot. In addition to the flash firebomb, the CLAW was armed with a 7.6mm machine gun and two HE-8 Venom missiles. I was already sold on the CLAW from the first time I saw it in the 1984 G.I. Joe product catalog that was inserted with each vehicle. But just in case I had been undecided, Hasbro pushed this particular piece hard. First, there was a cool commercial for the toy that implied that it was the counterpart vehicle to G.I. Joe's Skyhawk. Next, it made a significant appearance in my favorite issue of the G.I. Joe comic book, number 21, Silent Interlude. The issue begins with Storm Shadow flying in on a CLAW with a captured Scarlet, and ends with Scarlet and Snake Eyes flying out on a CLAW. Another prominent appearance of the CLAW in the comics was on the cover of issue number 24. It was featured heavily in that story as well, plus there was a commercial for issue number 24 of the comic book that featured the CLAW, which was very similar to the commercial for the toy, even using some of the same animation. The Cobra CLAWs were also featured a decent amount on the Sunbow G.I. Joe cartoon. A CLAW, flown by Cobra Commander himself, is featured in the opening credits of The Revenge of Cobra, the second 5-part miniseries which came out in 1984, the same year as the CLAW. The first episode, In the Cobra's Pit, starts with Cobra attacking a G.I. Joe convoy. Cobra Commander leads the attack, flying in on a CLAW. Season 1 of the cartoon began with a third 5-part miniseries, The Pyramid of Darkness. In the second episode, Rendezvous in the City of the Dead, Destro and some Cobra troops use claws to fly down from a helicopter to the ground. In the episode Satellite Down, the Joe team is attacked by Cobra's flying claws while trying to recover a downed satellite. In the episode The Greenhouse Effect, Tomax and Zaymot use claws to escape from Alpine. When the Joe team wakes up in an alternate reality, which they didn't realize at this point, they are immediately attacked by Cobra troops flying claws. One episode even name-dropped the vehicle in the title, Cobra Claws Are Coming to Town, in which a bunch of Cobra vehicles, including some claws, are shrunken down to attack the G.I. Joe headquarters, then during the attack, shot with a ray to bring them back to full size. The CLAW doesn't appear as much as the name of the episode would imply, but there is one scene where a CLAW is flown by the G.I. Joe team member Blowtorch. This isn't a complete list of all the appearances of the CLAWs in the cartoons, but a few of the ones that stand out to me. The CLAWs showed up quite a bit in the Sunbow cartoon series. The CLAW was right up there with the Fang helicopter and the Hiss tank when it came to Cobra vehicles that saw the most action in my G.I. Joe adventures. Only the Cobra Stinger Jeep beat out the other three to be my number 1 Cobra vehicle. Those 4 vehicles were easily the biggest modes of transportation and attack for that ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world. By Wave 4, I was still very much into the figures, but I barely had any of the vehicles or accessories. As a result, I completely missed out on the Cobra night landing raft, which I eventually picked up as an adult, and the Cobra flight pod or trouble bubble, which I have still never owned. I'm curious to hear what you think of the Cobra Claw. Did you have a claw when you were a kid? What did you think of it back then? What do you think of it now? Was it a favorite vehicle accessory of yours, or was it just something that didn't fit in with your adventures? Tell me in the comments below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you have a chance, it would be great if you would share it on social media. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notifications bell so you'll know when I post new videos. As always, thanks for watching.